So one small topic is issue of shares at discount. Now first thing is we should be clear about the meaning of issue of shares at discount. So you clearly know that when the face value is equal to issue price, we call it issue of shares at par. And when the issue price is more than the face value, then it is called issue of shares at premium. But if the issue price is less than the face value, if the issue price is less than the face value, then it is called issue of shares at discount. Means suppose you are purchasing a book and the price printed on that book is rupees 500 and the seller is giving you that book in rupees 450. So rupees 500 is the face value and 450 is the issue price at which the seller is ready to sell the book. So 450 is the discounted price. You got a discount of rupees 50. So issue price is less than the face value. Now I hope meaning of issue of shares at discount is clear. Then first point is as per section 53 of the Companies Act 2013, companies would no longer be permitted to issue shares at a discount. So now no company can issue shares at discount. Earlier it was permitted. So there was one more topic, more general entries were there for issue of shares at discount. So you have not to do that because it has been deleted from the Companies Act. So now there are only two ways of issuing shares, either at par or at premium. Only sweat equity shares can be issued at discount. We have done it earlier also, that the shares which you are issuing to your employees or directors, full-time directors, for their services, for some know-how, or for some intellectual property rights, or for creating a sense of belongingness in the employees, that can be issued at discount. There you can give the discount. Otherwise, if you are issuing shares to the public, or even if you are doing private placement of shares, you cannot issue shares at discount. Now next topic is issue of shares for consideration other than cash. So in the beginning I told that there are two ways of issuing shares. Either you will be issuing shares for cash or without cash. So why we will issue shares without cash? For some assets. Either I will be purchasing some assets at that time, I will be issuing shares instead of paying the amount. Sometimes the supplier agrees or supplier himself demands that I want shares of this company. I don't need any cash. Or maybe some portion of the asset is paid through bank and some portion is paid through shares. That can also be there. So first thing is that meaning of issue of shares for consideration other than cash. Its meaning is clear. What is it? Okay. Now, yes. Okay, I will repeat its meaning. See, whenever you are issuing shares, earlier we have done this. I should show you the slide. This one. So either you will issue the shares for cash, that we have done. Private placement we have done, public subscription at par or at premium we have done, sweat equity shares meaning we have done. Accounting is not in the syllabus. Then for consideration other than cash. So if company is issuing shares, but company is not getting cash in exchange of shares, that means you are issuing shares for consideration other than cash. Means some other thing you are getting. Means you are issuing shares in kind. You can say it. Now there are three ways of issuing shares for consideration other than cash. First is issue of shares to promoters, then issue of shares to underwriters, and issue of shares for purchase of assets. So now this we have to do. Okay. Now coming to the first topic, issue of shares to promoters. Why we will issue shares to promoters? First thing. Now first tell me the meaning of promoters. Who are promoters? You have studied it last year also, and this time in theory also we have studied who are promoters. Please explain me who are promoters. Yes, very good, very good. Yes, promoter is a person. First thing in general, promoter is a person who has an idea to start a business, who got some idea, who practically analyze that idea and try to implement that idea, who fulfills all the formalities to form the company. And technically, we have studied it that the person who has been named as such in the prospectus or who controls the affairs of the company, who provides advice to the directors or board of directors. Promoter can be a person or an artificial person also. Now, when I am issuing shares to promoters, uh, the reason is that promoter has made a lot of expenses from his own pocket to make that company. Yes, very good answers are coming. Good answers are coming. Good participation. I will appreciate that. Okay. So, in the beginning, promoter has got an idea. He checked his feasibility, the feasibility of the idea, whether it is feasible economically, technically, some business opportunities there or not. Then he will prepare all the documents. He will make many expenses for making that company. And the process of making the company is known as incorporation. Do you remember the meaning of incorporation? When the company gets born, that is known as incorporation. Means the expenses which are incurred in the incorporation of a company, for the incorporation of a company, that has been paid by whom? That has been paid by the promoters. And now what happens? Company is legally a separate person. Company is not a like proprietorship or partnership. It is not depending on any member or any promoter. Now promoter has done some expenses for making or for the incorporation of that company. So company in reverse compensate that promoter for the efforts done by him. Now how the company will compensate? It can be cash payment also practically. It can be the issue of shares also. Now promoter is a person who has got an idea, who has created that idea, who has started that business, who has incorporated that company only for the reason that he will do that business, he will run that business, and he will grow his wealth as well as others' wealth. So that's why he has to become a shareholder in that company. Only then he will be having voting power. He will be having decision making power. So that's why company generally issues shares to the promoters for the efforts and the expenses incurred by the promoters before the incorporation of the company. Before the incorporation of a company. So now I hope meaning of promoters is clear, meaning of incorporation is clear, and the expenses which are incurred in the process of incorporation is termed as incorporation cost. The expenses which are incurred in the process of incorporation is termed as incorporation cost or formation expenses. Now it is also an expense. It is also an expense. Earlier it was an expense from the promoter's pocket. Earlier it was an expense from the promoter's pocket. Now, when the company is issuing shares to the promoters in exchange of that expenses incurred by the promoter, means company is accepting that expense. Company is admitting that expense, that it is my expense now. So that's why it has been debited here. Company will not charge any cash. Company will not demand any cash from the promoter. Are you getting? Company is issuing shares to the promoters voluntarily, that yes, you have done so much effort for us, for my incorporation, so that's why in exchange I am giving you shares. So that's why promoter will not be paying any cash. So now that cost of shares will become an expense for the company. Now what name should be given to that expense? So the name of the expense is formation expenses. Generally we use incorporation cost. So expenses have been debited, and when the shares have been issued to the promoters, that will be converted into share capital. So share capital account has been credited. Share capital account has been credited. So now I hope this whole entry is clear. There is nothing which we have not discussed, which is not clear to you. Okay. Now coming to the next part, issue of shares for purchase of assets. Now suppose I am purchasing a machinery. What will be the journal entry you will be doing? Leave this topic once, and simple transaction I am giving, purchased machinery. Tell me the journal entry. Very good, very good. I am giving a journal name to the asset. Machinery I am not writing, so I can do asset account debit to bank account. This entry I will be doing. Now, if suppose I give you transaction asset purchased from X Limited, asset purchased from X Limited, means I have not done the payment. It is a credit purchase of asset. So here it will be X Limited. Here it will be X Limited. Asset account debit to X Limited. So this will be the entry. Now, in general, what we call X Limited is the seller of that machine, means vendor. He is the vendor of that asset. So whenever I am purchasing any asset from the vendor, I will be doing it asset account debit to vendor. So there is nothing new in this entry. You have already done this entry in your class 11. Am I correct? Okay. Now suppose I am making payment through bank account. I am making payment to the vendor. So the entry will be vendor account debit to bank account, vendor debit to bank account. And but in this topic, what is happening? I am not making any payment. I am not making any payment. What I am doing? I am purchasing the asset, and in return, I am issuing shares of my company to that vendor. So okay, so when I am issuing shares, it will get converted into share capital account. We have done a chapter in BSc Financial Management, and 2-3 days back, I told that fixed assets should be financed through which type of funds? Can you tell me? Fixed assets should be financed through which type of funds? Yes, very good. Very good. Those who are studying, they will be able to answer it. Yes, very good. Very good. Very good. Long-term sources of finance. And capital is the long-term source of finance. You are purchasing a fixed asset here, and it has been financed through long-term source, share capital. So that way you can connect it with BST also. Okay. Now the third topic. So this is the second topic which we have done. Now when shares are issued to underwriters. Underwriters are the persons with which companies generally enter into a contract for making their issue of shares successful. We have studied a condition of minimum subscription, and as per SEBI guidelines, it is 90%. As per SEBI guidelines, it is 90% of the number of shares issued. So generally, company enter into contract with underwriters that if somehow we doesn't get any 90% subscription, the issue is going to be failed. Then the role of underwriter will come. They will purchase the balance of shares to make it successful. They will not let the issue get failed. So meaning of underwriters is clear. Who are underwriters? And generally underwriters are very large companies. Underwriter is not a single individual. These are very large, having adequate financial resources, good financial strength. These are these type of companies. So now underwriters, why underwriters will enter into such contract without any compensation? So what they want underwriting commission. They will be charging commission on each and every share. So that's why it is our expense, underwriting commission account debit to underwriters. First we will make it due. First we will make the amount due. So the expense has been made due. Underwriting commission we have to pay, and we have made it due. It is our expense, that's why it has been debited. And because we have not paid, so that's why it is our liability. And the underwriters become our creditors. Underwriters become our creditors. Submit. Yes, this first entry is clear. This first entry is clear. Now, if I am making cash payment, underwriters account debit to bank account, or if I am issuing some shares also, then to share capital account. To share capital account. So if you are issuing shares, it will be to share capital account. If you are making payment from bank account or through check, then it will be to bank account. Or if you are making some payment and if you are issuing shares also, then both will be there, to bank account and to share capital account. So I hope this entry is also clear. Okay. Now, sometimes what happens, there are 2-3 options. You may make payment through bank. First option, you may make payment through bank. Then second option, you may issue shares. It may be equity share or it may be preference share. Then third option, a combination of both of them. Some payment has been done through bank and some payment has been done through issue of shares. This is the third option. Then sometimes we accept a bills of exchange or promissory note also. So it can be two bills payable also. Means we want to make some cash payment, but right now we don't have any cash. We are having some shortage of cash. After 2-3 months, suppose I will be having some cash. So that's why I am accepting a bill for 2-3 months. So some part of payment I will be doing after 2-3 months through bank account, and for some part I am issuing share. So it can be, or I may be giving some promissory note or some bills of exchange. So that may also be there in mode of payment. So now I hope theoretically I have discussed all the entries. I have cleared each and every topic. If any queries here, you can ask. And further, we will be doing the numericals in the next class. You can write the narrations. It has been written here: asset account debit to vendor account, being asset purchased from the vendor, being shares issued. Over subscription we will be doing in last. Don't be in haste because it is little bit confusing. Before that, I have to complete certain basic topics. When you will be expert in that basic topic, only after that we will be starting over subscription. So it will come in last. Wait for that. Okay. Thank you all.